How did you kick off then, you two original members?
We just played years ago, purely because we liked it.
What were you doing at the time that punk first hit the headlines and became a thing?
Well, we were playing when punk first hit the headlines. We were classed as a punk rock band when it hit the headlines.
Totally unemployed, and it was to us it was the total. The way forward was to be a musician and to just do it.
Why did you feel like that about it?
We've been we've been in bands for a few years. The sort of music scene was pretty uninspiring, so we actually followed the sort of American punk thing, the New York Dolls. That's how we sort of got going. We were likened to the New York Dolls, and when punk started in England, we were already sort of doing that sort of thing.
We were sort of 1976, 77. We supported the Runaways, Pistols, the Clash, and it was sort of immediately obvious that we were doing that sort of same routine.
Except we had long hair.
Longish hair,
We had
yeah.
long hair. They didn't like us because we had long hair. So.
Who do you think did kick it all off? Was it the Americans or was it the British?
No, the Americans did it first.
Yeah.
And Malcolm McLaren went over there, saw what was going on and thought, I can cash in on this. So he brought it back to England.
What did you think of the great Malcolm?
I never actually met him, so I don't know.
Well, we did early gigs with the Pistols, and what struck us was how they were all already set up and had a total Fender backline and brand new guitars and all this backing. And to us, we were sort of just still doing our, we're still on the dole, still promoting ourselves, playing the same gigs. But it was very difficult for us because we came from Birmingham, not London, so it was a difficult thing to get into. But we did very well, I think.
We had a good following in the Midlands, in Birmingham. Similar sort of, I suppose it was similar to London because there were lots of people who liked to sort of wear weird clothes and dress up post-Bowie sort of era, obviously music, Bowie sort of thing. And they sort of tended to identify with us in Birmingham. And the same as people were like that in London, you identified with the Sex Pistols.
So what did you write about? How did you express yourselves through punk?
We wrote about the situation we were in, being on the dole, having no money, just having a good time, having some fun. So that's what we wrote about. Dissatisfied with the world as it was, and not knowing how to change it, so just go out and have some fun, enjoy it.
And what was your first gig? Was it memorable?
The first punk gig, because I mean we were going before punk really, and we were in this sort of New York Dolls vein. What's it memorable? I can't remember.
One of the things that helped us is that we sort of almost introduced punk into Birmingham with a couple of other bands, Birmingham bands, and the place called Barbarellas. And we got a room open downstairs which was previously unused, and it was called The Pose, because that was the thing in those days. You used to go along with The Pose. And there was a DJ there that picked up on all the sort of current singles, and at that point we had our single out, sort of 77, and that sort of stuff was played, and it just absolutely, mushroomed.
Barricade the door.
Sit in front of it.
Yeah, outside of it.
Yeah. All right, where have we got up to? Yeah, your first few gigs.
It was Barbarellas in Birmingham, and it was a fantastic nightclub.
Played at 100.
Yeah, we did all the gigs.
Place like when punk was just started, the Runaways, that supported the Runaways.
Yeah, we supported the Runaways, and that was really the start of it
Pistols
for us,
and the
because
Clash.
they were sort of an
Big
American
Hundred
punk
Club.
female band, and we were the Surburban Studs, who were an English punk band, and there was this sort of, we sort of slotted together quite nicely.
Never got to talk to them.
But we did a good gig. I think it worked quite well.
We always.
Looking back on it, what do you feel about the whole 77, 78, 79 period?
It was good fun. It was
Yeah.
a great, something was happening. You could go down to a club and there was good music, people there. It's great fun. It sort of, I suppose, it followed on the sort of general apathy of what's happened before. Whereas you'd go to a club and there'd be no one there. You went to a punk club and there were people dressed up, to show off in front of each other or whatever. It was good fun.
Is that what punk was to you, fun, or was it more?
There was a sort of social element where we, I suppose we, what's the word? Whoa! We reacted against what was going. We'd been on the dole for years. We lived in a duff flat above a furniture shop. Guy next door.
Sorry. I think it might be more effective if you sat outside. You might
Just
have
all right, they come.
It's IQ, that's the problem.
Right. Tell me again about that. What is punk to you then? In essence.
Do-it-yourself music, having fun. I mean, there's people who play guitars and that. We do it because we enjoy playing together, playing music.
I always felt it was indigenous to this country. A lot of bands out there were trying to be emulating the American rock sound or doing this, that and the other, putting on airs and graces, where I still to this day will not play anything that is not in my sort of experience. I won't play the blues, I won't play heavy metal. I play the way I play because it's part of my experience, and it is this particular sound. And to us, it sort of struck a chord, and we were away. We would just sort of hit it. I think everybody has a go at playing various styles, but to us, early on in our careers, we just went, that's it, and it stayed with us. Even now, we're still gigging, we're still playing. Eddie's writes the majority of the songs. We still play in our own style, and it doesn't borrow for anything from anybody else. It's self-taught almost.
So did you get influenced by other bands, or is this something that's
I think
purely
everybody gets influenced by other bands. I mean, we used to be influenced by New York Dolls and people like that. Patti Smith, well, it started in America, and it was like a sort of a breath of fresh air.
That's right. When it's
going on
okay,
around, it was great.
it's an open chord.
And you can do it
Drum
yourself.
Yeah,
You don't
that's
have to
it.
be a big, rich, mega rock star to do it. You can just go out and do it in your garage.
Have you two been gigging continuously since you started? Or
No,
have you done other things?
On and off.
Yeah, we've known each other since very early beginnings, but
One of the problems with punk was it became a right load of crap, didn't it? A load of egos and posers and all this. It was great fun, and that's what it was all about, having fun and the audience having fun. And it sort of got stupid, didn't it? And so we just backed off.
we actually packed up in '79 on the back of sort of, we were doing 5 gigs a week, and we were doing the whole circuit. We
No
had
money.
the album,
No one
the
ever
CD.
paid us.
We didn't have the CD. The CD was re-released. We didn't have the singles, the John Peel sessions, and to us it was just like absolute overkill. So we gave it up as
You
a.
stood still with rob you. Money.
And it was just one of those things that we sort of got out, probably in hindsight, at exactly the wrong time. Could have just carried on.
Made
We
lots of
would have been
money.
fairly successful.
Living in America like
We were
the
still
others.
young, but we had pretty high ideals, I think, and we didn't like the sellout routine and the singles that.
But we had a record deal with WEA and they wanted us to go power pop at the time.
Yeah, they wanted us to
And we
record
wanted
other
to-
people's music and put a punk edge on it, and we just didn't want to know about that.
We did what we liked, and that was it. That was probably a mistake. If we did what they said, we might have made some money.
Did you make any money at all?
We've never been paid
Zero.
a penny for any records or anything we've ever
Our
made.
CD is still on sale today, and it's
Re-released
sold.
2 years ago.
Well, yeah, it was re-released in '75, I think it was. It's still selling, and it's on sale out there. The guys come up with us today with a CD. Can you sign this, please? We signed it, but that's it. That's the extent of
We've
it.
never received a penny for any music we've ever done.
That's a bit sad.
Well, the great thing
the way it is.
he went on to get. What was your qualification?
Grave digger.
We both went on and just got a
Done
career.
very well as a
basically.
grave digger.
So what was your alternative career?
I work in the music industry. I've got an MA in industrial design, I design lighting systems. I'm still in the industry. Eddie's gone
I dig
on.
holes.
Like it.
What do you do? Come on.
Dig holes.
He's extremely highly
I used to
qualified.
work in the greenhouses to grow plants for Chelsea Flower Show. I used to do that.
But he got a degree along the way. In
well,
something.
plants. I used to grow some good plants.
Are you going
Which
to
they
tell
didn't-
me?
they
Is
didn't
this
expect to have
something
in
you're
the
ashamed
greenhouse.
of? Is this something you're very ashamed of, having a sensible career in?
Not really, I'm a teacher.
In what?
I teach young children, little ones.
You're a punk teacher.
I'm a teacher.
But
I wouldn't say I was a punk teacher.
not the sad thing, but the ironic thing is our second single was called I Hate School. And
Well, I still hate
it still hates it, so it's not that far adrift.
Especially with a conservative government in. And the crap they're trying to do.
So the kids you've taught know about your past life?
Not really, no. They're a bit young anyway. To understand.
So how long have you been back together again, or have you just been on and off playing?
We've sort of been on off over a few years, really, haven't we? Sort of messing about.
The thing about us is we went through this whole experience of punk. We went through the record contract, the album, the singles, and come 1979, that was it. It was just totally up to it. And to be honest with you, we gave up. This is a bad experience. We were gigging 5 days a week, anywhere you care to mention, on the continent, England. It was a very bad experience.
We never got paid, that's the thing.
Never got paid for anything, and we
Never
actually,
gave us any money.
the four of us, we just went and gave up. And it wasn't until Ed contacted me about 2 years ago and said, "Come on."
Was that 40 years ago?
Yeah, he said, "You're a good
Playing
guitarist.
again?
You can still play. I can still write." And I said, "Nah." Anyway, I said, "Well, come round to my house. I've got a little recording set up. Put some sounds onto this. See what you think." And if you've learned a trade of sorts, which is, I think, what we did. We learned a trade. We did our apprenticeship as punks. And how can you not make music when we are good? We're good at what we do. We've done all the apprenticeship, and I enjoy it. To me, it's mental squash. And some people will go and paddle all around the court for 2 hours.
Squash.
Yeah, well, that's what we do, and we approach the music industry in a completely different way. To us, it's for our enjoyment only. It's what we get out of
Anyway,
it.
that's why we never got anywhere.
Yeah, but I think it's become more personal now because we can go out and do fantastic gigs, and at the end of the day, we're not expecting any fantastic record deals, any hype or any of that stuff. We just do it because we like it. We like the material, we like to do what we want to do. You know,
Presumably your fans appreciate it.
We haven't got any fans.
You haven't got any? You must have had some stage.
Oh, we have people who bought our records and say, yeah, we really like that, but I'm also got fans. We used to turn up playing and no one turns up, does he? Get off! They shout, and we say, "Shut up!"
maybe that's our punk apprenticeship training coming into force, but we
We
do
do
play
what we
gigs
do.
and we will give back as good as we can because really, again, at the end of the day, we've been asked to play somewhere. It's supposed to be expected live gig, and we are what we are.
People tend to phone us up. I mean, this guy phoned us up and said, "Can you come and do this?" I said, "Yeah, right." And he wasn't the person. How much was it? 300 quid?
Between 250 and 300.
Now it's 200 quid. This is typical, you say, being in a band.
Overall, have either of you got any regrets?
No,
We do what we
not at
do.
all. No, totally not. We had a fantastic time, and we're still having a great time now. And I think, if you get to that, if you go through that whole experience, and you can still say it's great, which it is. We're having a brilliant day out today. We're really,
It's good fun.
yeah, we went out, we've done our little gig, and we prepared for it, we've done our rehearsal, and it was great fun.